everyone. Welcome to the Mom and Dad Cuss a Little podcast, a show where we give you our insight on parenting, marriage, existing, and
getting a little deep on that one.
Yeah, I know. Very existentialist. Is that a word? And we have 4 little boys, so I don't think we could sugarcoat anything if we tried. This is definitely not the show where we are all about rainbows and unicorns and glitter and tutus. We are all about the real ish that's gonna happen when you have kids. So,
I'm Adam.
I'm Rihanna.
It's been a while since you've done the intro. Yeah. Between breaks and you're just like, you do it this week. So, dear.
I still said it, didn't I?
You still said something, yeah.
Oh, shut up. If you don't like it, then you do it next time. Jerk face.
It's your show.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, dear.
Buttons.
Well, you were the one that was in the costume shop in college, so you're the expert at sewing.
Aww.
About all I can sew is buttons.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, I had a thought.
Okay.
Our dear listeners are probably wondering what the hell to do with their kids on the holidays.
It is coming about that time of year because it is, for those of you listening at a later, it is currently November, and in America that's Thanksgiving time-ish. Well, in a few weeks it'll be Thanksgiving.
Are we the only ones? Well, I guess we would be the only ones. Like,
there are other
history.
countries that celebrate Thanksgiving, but it's a little different, and I don't think everybody else does it in November. So I'm just going. Yeah, it is very important. Just like with Halloween, I was learning in the last few weeks that America is really the only ones that really celebrate Halloween as extensively.
Yeah. There's
a lot of Australians that I just keep hearing on their shows. Well, apparently in America, this Halloween thing is really big, but not here. So it's interesting.
It's like the biggest day of the year.
I know.
For us.
But in Australia, apparently Halloween isn't really that big of a thing.
Well, I know where we're not moving.
Yeah, we're not moving to Australia. Then again, you don't like heat, and it's even worse down there.
See, I can tolerate the heat because I've lived here for forever.
Yeah.
But it's all the other shit in Australia that's basically designed to kill you.
Yeah, Australia as a whole is designed to kill you. Even the trees are going to kill you. I mean, fuck.
Seriously, are you okay, Australia? I'm really worried.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not what we're here to talk about.
We're not here to talk about Australia trying to kill you.
No. I am pretty sure, like I said, that the listeners are wondering what the hell to do with their kids on the holidays. I'm wondering what the hell to do with our kids on the holidays. So
we have that thought every year, too.
Yeah. So, thought we'd do a show, or 2 or 3, however fucking many it takes, to help you out with that.
Yeah, we're gonna tackle some holiday.
Oh boy. Holidays,
because it's the holiday season, starting with 2 weeks ago. Was it 2? No, it was crap. Halloween was just last week, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Damn.
Yep.
I can't tell time.
Nope.
You're bad at math and time.
I'm not. I'm a little bad at math.
You're
Shut up.
Okay.
So, holiday rule number 1. Everything that you did when you were single or when you were married with no kids is going out the window. Like, none of that shit applies anymore. None. That's
general rule of parenting, but yeah, that's compounded by holidays.
Yeah, it's like exponentially different.
Yeah.
Like 100% different. There is nothing that's similar at all. So the one thing that I hate about the holidays and that I will never freaking understand is why everybody is so determined to get super dressed up for all day of standing in the kitchen. I don't fucking get it. I don't. It's stupid. It's possibly the dumbest, most insipid thing I could think of that I hate about the holidays is that everybody feels the need to get super dressed up. You're not fucking going anywhere. You're going to stand in my kitchen for 3 hours, put some pink pajamas, and calm the fuck down.
Yeah, but they're guests in the house. And I think it goes to, even if it's all family, they're still guests in somebody else's home.
Okay, so wear your stretchy jeans, because we're going to eat a shitload of food. If you're going to show up in, like, Yeah. I mean, if you're going to show up in, like, your little black dress with pearls and you've got 5,000 layers of spandex keeping you in there, you're not going to be able to eat all this food that I spent the past 10 hours cooking, and now I'm pissed at you. I will digress.
Can I raise my hand here?
Not if you're going to tell me that I'm wrong, because if you are, then just shut up.
Who spent how long cooking?
Oh, shut up.
You don't cook on Thanksgiving.
Yes, I do.
You don't
I
cook.
make green bean casserole.
You make the green bean casserole that you and my sister eat exclusively.
And the potato salad.
And the potato salad. No, you hands off to me and have me do it.
Well, because it gets hard to mix it.
Because you make like 5 pounds of potato salad for you and my sister.
Well, learn to like potato salad, then we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like once you have children, perhaps you will come around to my side of this argument. I never see the point of dressing up kids. I think it's dumb. Unless you have
not fully dressing up, but they should at least have a decent clothes on. Don't put them in
they don't need to be in like tattered jeans and their dirtiest t-shirt, but they also don't need to be in a button-up with slacks and dress shoes.
I've always felt like that was a bit overdone. I think the difference is with like between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm more lax about Thanksgiving, especially but I think the reason people are more dressed up on Christmas is because it is typically a church holiday. So it's a big church holiday. So people are all dressed up going to church first thing in the morning on Christmas, and they just stay that way.
Yeah, church.
I think that's why with Christmas, I see more of the super dressed up. Thanksgiving, not as much. I think you put on your good jeans for Thanksgiving and you might put on a nicer shirt, but I understand, at least for me, the dressing up. I can justify the dressing up bit for Thanksgiving or whatever, just on you're a guest in if you're a guest in someone else's home, and if you do that, and if it's your house and you're hosting, you've got people coming in, so you don't want to look like a slob, and so you put nicer clothes on to present yourself better in the hosting duties situation.
Fuck you. It's my house. I'll wear what the fuck I want. You're lucky I put pants and a bra on today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's legit how I feel about it. I am going to wear my leggings and my David Bowie tank top so that I've got lots of stretchy room because I'm going to eat food.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to point out, your cheat day is Sunday.
I don't care. My cheat day is going to start on Wednesday that week. And we're going to carry it all the way through.
Yeah. But, so, I mean, I can at least, I totally agree on that. And I've had, like, when I was a kid, if we didn't have anybody coming over, especially like later on as I got older, when I was pretty much like halfway through high school, I pretty much assumed control of Thanksgiving dinner. And my parents learned that I got really good at the timing of everything and I got everything down. So by like my junior year of high school, I was in charge of Thanksgiving. I did everything. That was it.
Right.
But yeah, we got very much, I was like, yeah, I've been in my ratty jeans and a white t-shirt cooking all day. I'm covered in flour and other crap and I'm a mess, but I've been cooking all day. Shut up.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, my stepmom, again, and I've talked about it before, where she worked nights. She's an overnight maternity nurse. Half the time during the day, she's kind of like you. She was very much a no pants, no problem kind of person. Mm-hmm. Very much like you. She's usually in jeans and something very comfortable, sleep shorts, whatever. And then, yeah, half the time she'd get up because she may have been working on Thanksgiving night. Yeah. So she might have been like, she'd wake up for Thanksgiving dinner, Thanksgiving like lunch, because it was usually like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. Which I feel like is the normal time.
Yeah, it's kind of, I felt like
because you have lunch and then you graze.
Yeah, you kind of graze on the rest of the sides the rest of the day. And then you have to, because you have to have room for pie, because you're definitely not going to have room for dessert right after Thanksgiving dinner. You need a couple hours to digest.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and then everybody brings out the table of pies. Yeah. Oh man. There was this one time when I was at my aunt's house. Well, I don't know if she was really my aunt. Maybe she was my aunt's mom, but she wasn't my aunt. Whatever.
Let's not get into Southern genealogy real quick.
So we're at their house, and she literally had a system where the formal dining room had a long table, and you had to go this way This way, I'm showing everybody counterclockwise.
Yeah. It's great how they can see your arms flailing around like that. Yeah, totally.
They totally can. They can see me. They know. You had to go this way into the kitchen to get your stuff from the kitchen, come back around the other side of the kitchen, and back around the other side of the dining room table, and then you can go into the living room or outside to the picnic tables outside. Mm-hmm. And then, after all that was said and done, and after everybody's settled and had enough food, and everybody's, all right, now we can take the big tablecloth off of the table in the front room that's got all the pie and cake. That was my favorite.
But I will admit, you came from a big Southern-ish Texan family where pretty much everybody showed up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody showed up. I mean, I've been to one Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving, right?
I actually think we were Christmas, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure because we do the same meal for both.
I know there were 3 turkeys all prepared different ways.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there were 3 turkeys prepared different ways. Where like one was traditionally roasted, one was fried, and one was put on a grill that I could only describe as a fire pit with a grate on it.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fire pit with like a big steel grate over it.
Traditional turkey, barbecue turkey, and deep fried turkey, which is the fucking best turkey there.
Which in Texas is traditional turkey.
Holy shit, if you've never had deep fried turkey, I urge you to very, very carefully learn how to do it.
Don't learn how to do it. Make a friend who knows how to do it already. Because you are going to set your house on fire the first time.
This is true. My dad thought he burnt our first deep fried turkey. And
that's just the way they look.
He thought it was completely ruined and that he ruined Thanksgiving dinner. And so he was like, all right, well, fuck it. Let's cut into this and see if there's anything salvageable. And he cuts into it and it's amazing and beautiful and gorgeous and delicious. And oh my God, now I want deep fried turkey.
I think they sell deep fried turkey cold cuts.
I want real. I want food. Anyway. So when you have kids, I feel like it's a completely different ballgame.
Yes.
Because now, not only do you have to worry about you and what you will be wearing, you now have to worry about what your children will be wearing. And let's think about this. We've got 4. All in different age ranges. Yeah. All in different activity levels. Yeah. So we've got to think about Charlie and Damien, who are probably going to be up and running most of the time. Mm-hmm. And who need to be presentable but not sloppy, but not too overly super dressed because that's stupid.
Yeah, especially like little kids. There's no point in getting them really dressed up in a general rule because kids get messy. That's
messy. They're going to get messy.
Yeah. There's going to be gravy on that shirt. Don't make it too nice.
Exactly. So there's kind of that fine line where you've got to worry about them. So let's say that for the holidays, you have to take a trip somewhere. Ooh. Like potentially a 2-hour trip. A 2-hour trip. I think that's how that song goes. I'm almost positive that that's exactly how it goes. I'm pretty sure
you're paraphrasing that song, but okay.
No, I'm pretty sure it was like verbatim. So for us to go anywhere, we have this humongous, I got it from 31, bag that is like maybe 1.5 feet tall by like 1 foot wide.
It's a huge bag.
It's huge.
It's like a 5-gallon bag.
Pretty much. It's got pockets on the outside and 2 mesh pockets on the ends.
Are you talking about the big diaper bag? The big diaper bag. Okay, we've got a shit ton of really big bags.
No.
Is this the rolling duffel or our regular duffel or the giant, God, what the hell diaper bag?
Giant what the hell diaper bag.
Okay.
That I got from 31. I'm pretty sure they don't make them anymore, which is unfortunate because they're so handy.
Yeah.
So we pack 1 outfit for each child. And I mean complete outfit. Shirt, underwear, shorts, socks.
Yeah. It's like, here's what you're wearing, and here's in case you destroy everything.
Yeah. If there is a nuclear explosion.
In case of emergency, always have clean underwear.
Exactly. And I'll admit, I do throw in a pair for myself or for you if we need it. Yeah. Just in case.
Like, have an extra shirt for me or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially with kids, because you never know what messes kids are going to make on you.
Exactly. So we have all of those. Then we also have to contend with diapers and pull-ups because we have one in each still.
Yeah.
And then now we have one that's still bottles. So we've got to take formula and bottles and bottle brushes because where we're going, they don't have baby stuff because they don't have babies, which is understandable.
Yeah.
So you basically have to come equipped with everything.
Yeah.
To take care of your child from sunrise to sunset.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yep.
Plus, we have a traveling high chair, which we will be taking. Plus, we have a travel playpen, bassinet, play yard thingy that we will probably be taking.
A pack and play.
A pack and play. There we go. That's the word. That we will probably be taking so that we have somewhere to put the youngest child. It is exhausting.
Yeah.
Just thinking about all of the prep work
that goes into just to take them
2 hours from the house.
It takes about that long to pack up all of the shit that we have to take for a 2-hour trip.
Yeah. It is exhausting. And then you have to get there and unpack all of that and make sure you've got everything set up. You got to set up the high chair and make sure it's not in anybody's way. And then you got to make sure that you can have the playpen somewhere where it could potentially be quiet for a little bit just in case he decides to take a nap, which would be lovely if he did take a nap. So shut the fuck up and let him take a nap.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right. And then you've got to pack it all up and get everybody in the car and they're all kicking and screaming because they don't want to leave. Ugh.
Yeah.
I told you there's no sugarcoating
There's
here.
No sugar.
This is real life.
This is the reality of
real life.
of having 4 kids and trying to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere where you're going to stop and enjoy a meal short of taking a trip to McDonald's. You know, but even that, we still take the damn portable high chair to McDonald's, even though they have them there. I trust ours more.
I trust ours a lot more. But I don't know. Is it worth it? Yeah, you get to see your family.
Yeah.
You get to have food.
It's like the experience, but the setup and the breakdown and it's one of those things they never prepare you for.
No, they don't. And I think a lot of people...
What to expect when you're expecting needs to have a whole chapter devoted to traveling with your damn kid.
It's not easy. And Loves has that super cute commercial with the mom who's like super overprotective of her first baby and takes like everything with her except the baby. And then the second baby comes around and she grabs like a diaper. That's not real. Sorry. No. That's not real. It's an exaggeration of the extremes because I will straight up say with Charlie, first time around, we did not go grocery shopping without a full arsenal of every stupid thing that could possibly ever be needed. Yeah.
And now with all 4 of them, I will admit there are days where I leave the house and I don't have shit with me.
Yeah, no, and I do that too. Like
you way overdo it the first time because you don't realize and you want to be so overprepared.
You make sure you have the thermometer and Tylenol just in case because you never know. And
it's like, oh yeah, we're just going to go up to the gas station real quick, but I need to make sure I have that thermometer and the booger sucker and about half a pack of diapers and a whole case of formula. And
2 extra outfits just in case.
2 extra outfits just in case. In different sizes because he might have a growth spurt. You never know what might happen on the way to the corner store.
And 3 bottles.
But everybody does that with the first kid.
They do.
Everybody
does. There's no talking people out of that because it's just...
That's the point where it was kind of like you said, where we were saying before. It's like you throw the book away every kid.
Yeah.
You write the book for every kid and you throw it away the next time around.
Yeah. Like the first time parents are like, my kid is never going to do this. And then your kid does that and it's like, oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah. My kid will never talk to me that way. He just fucking did.
Yeah. So, I mean, yes, it's different for everybody, but I feel like we do bare bones when it comes to prepping to go out with them now. Basic trips. You learn the minimums. Yeah. This is what you realistically need. Right. You need an extra outfit. You need depending on the age and diapers and stuff like that. It's like you need at least 1, maybe 2, just in case.
And
if you have a little one, then 2 is probably pretty safe because blowouts happen.
But yeah.
Frequently.
But unless you're planning a long outing, like if you got like a potty trained pull up age kid, you've got one. I think one maybe an extra pair of pants in case you stretch it longer.
Are you talking about outfits or pull ups?
Well, one pull up and like maybe an extra pair of pants just in case.
How long is this?
That's what I'm saying. Is if it's an extended trip, maybe you have another one. But if it's just like you're going to the grocery store, you might have to. Yeah, it's like you might need to change the kid if you didn't do that right before you left.
Right.
That happens. Sometimes I don't take a diaper bag grocery shopping anymore. I don't.
Well, and to be fair, for us, grocery shopping is literally in our backyard. Like
that makes it sound like we have a farm.
You hop the back wall and you're at the grocery store.
Yeah, it's literally it's around the corner. It's like we could hit, if the parking lot wasn't so big, we could hit the grocery store from our house.
Pretty much. So I don't mind not taking a diaper bag to the grocery store.
Yeah.
But it is necessary.
Necessary.
I'll get there eventually, guys. It is necessary to pack what we pack for these trips. Yeah. And I feel like when once you are leaving, if you're going to be gone essentially a day, like a work day, you just take it like you're leave your house to return home is basically like an 8-hour work day or whatever. You're going out of town, or even like before when my brother lived across town, it's like we'd leave in the morning, like maybe around lunchtime, we'd come back after dinner. We needed to have the full. Like when you get to that, if it's anything other than just a quick one, back and forth trip, you need the full arsenal. You need the high chair. You need the pack and play. You need the fully loaded diaper bag with enough diapers to get you through the entire day. Mm-hmm. You need the entire thing of formula, or at least like the little multi-use, whatever. You need the entire day's worth of formula and bottles and bottle brush. And if you want to be really prepared, one of those little travel things of dish soap. I love those.
But, for anything outside of just a quick trip, you have to have the full arsenal with you.
Right.
Because those are just, what would you have had to use in your home during this time frame? Mm-hmm. It was like, I would have needed all of these things at some point during this time. You have to have that.
Now, here's the upswing. If you are going, this is for us kind of feeling out what we are looking at for our Thanksgiving trip, because your mom has invited everybody to her house for Thanksgiving, which is 2 hours away from us. Yeah. And it's your mom's house. She does not have any babies. No. Mom does not have any babies. If my mom had babies now, I'm pretty sure it'd be like you. I'm pretty sure mom having kids now would kill her. So
let's just backtrack and remind. My mom is like, my oldest sister is 38.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine how much older my parents are. So yeah, and they're not having kids anytime soon. Right.
So there is an upswing to it all. If you are going to somebody's house who does have kids your age, it makes it so much easier because they probably have a pack and play that you can borrow. Yeah. They probably have a high chair. There are things that you can leave or whatever. If they've got kids your same age, then they can probably share clothes. Yeah. We've done that when our nieces have come over and they needed like pajamas or something. Yeah. Sure, we've got that.
It's like, it was, my sister was in town. She blew a tire, had to stay overnight unexpectedly. Yeah. And it's like she borrowed a pair of like my clothes. Like she's borrowing my jeans and t-shirts, and her daughters were borrowing our boys' pajamas and things. But it works.
But I mean, we have kids around the same age, so it's fine. So if you are going somewhere where they do have kids, then it makes it a lot easier. Plus, I feel like your host is going to be so much more understanding of the fact that you are bringing kids because they know how kids behave.
They're a lot more tolerant of when their kids are the same age as yours. Like we're very fortunate with my sisters and my brother for that matter. They're all in the same. They're basically ranged the same scope that ours are. Ours, like our 4 span all of their kids. So
we've got one in each age group, so we're good.
So it works out, but.
I hate going to parents' houses because they expect something completely different from our children. And I don't comprehend how they get to that point, but it's exhausting. It's also exhausting because now you've got to deal with, well, my kids aren't perfect and you're going to criticize me for it. And you're going to tell me that back in your day, this is how it was done. And I don't give a shit.
So I guess I understand. We didn't, like, when I was a kid, we didn't childproof shit in our house. Yeah.
We have a Damien.
Yeah. It's like our kids regularly curb check the counters and the dinner table, and I was like, yeah, they're still breathing, but you know what? They've got a lot of triangular markings on their faces.
Quite a bit of dents on these models.
Yep. This one's been dinged up quite a bit. Self-inflicted, but still.
Yeah.
You know, if you can avoid it. But also, just like, at that point when your kids move out, going more for our parents' sake, yeah, grandparents start fancying up their houses.
Yeah, because you can finally have nice things.
Yeah, it's like my mom's house.
You go from this is why we can't have nice things to yay, I can
have nice things again. It's like my mom's got a lot of nice things in her house. My dad's got a lot of nice things in his house.
Yeah.
And these are not child-friendly environments.
No, they're really not, especially small child-friendly environments.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of shit they can break. My dad's got a glass top table.
With a fishbowl
on it. But guess what? The boys want to play with the fish and slam on the table.
Gives me a heart attack every time we're there.
It's like my dad's got a big glass display case in his living room. I was like, get away, get away, get away, get away.
Yeah.
And that's just...
And I mean, you can't... They're little. They can't sit on their hands and stare at everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they don't care about the conversations that are happening. Yeah. They want to go play with their cousins.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the whole, oh, go play outside. Well... They can't. I mean, you know, if we're in Texas, Charlie's very allergic to mosquitoes.
Yeah.
He can't go play outside.
Yeah. It's
and he's allergic to aloe, so we can't exactly just heal him from mosquito bites.
Yeah, it's quite, I will say, as much as we've learned, we've got it a lot easier than a lot of other parents.
Yeah.
But it's still like, the little hiccups that we have to, you have to consider. And that's another thing you have to consider is like when you go somewhere, are there going to be potential like allergens, health risks?
Yeah.
Like I said, Charlie's allergic to mosquitoes and aloe and things like this that like in normal other kids, this wouldn't be a problem. But you have to consider that when we go somewhere, we have to be prepared for those sort of things.
Right. Or Bug, he's got really, really bad eczema that borders on psoriasis.
Yeah.
And any and everything can cause a flare-up.
Yeah, he can have a flare-up just like, oh, you used this wrong type of fabric softener on that blanket. Guess what? His arm is now completely inflamed. Mm-hmm. We have to take those considerations. And you would have to take those considerations if you're taking your kids somewhere. Your kids may have a problem.
Right.
Now, if your kids don't have any problems, great for you. But, you have to think about that.
Yeah. So
anytime you go somewhere.
It all comes down to being prepared. And if you are brave enough to have the conversation with your host, to have them prepared as well.
Yeah.
Like, this is how my kids are. And I don't mean like, this is what it's going to be like, get over it. But like,
there are certain things, what's the word? Operations or certain expectations because of like, trying to think of the word.
I don't know where you're going with this, so I can't finish it for you.
But it's like to where they understand that, yes, it's like, hey, this kid has this, almost like when you take them to daycare. Hey, they're allergic to this, and they have this, and they
and not so much allergies, but like he's a very active child, or we always have a nap from 11 to 1, and if that gets disrupted, which it will be, he's gonna be cranky.
Yeah.
It's just kind of those things to mentally prepare them for what they are actually getting into by bringing everybody to their house.
Yeah. That's just...
Because the smart thing to do as parents, the smartest thing, the only thing that I can say that is a parenting absolute is put your kids on a routine.
Yeah. That is probably... I mean, even if your routine does not match what they tell you, what they say you should do, air quotes.
I don't care what your routine is with your kid.
You need to have a routine.
But make sure you have a routine because
Kids
that will make your life exponentially out of this world, past this universe, so much more easier.
Yeah.
So much more easier? So much
easier.
Wow, it's late.
Wow, you are Miss Grammar Queen over here.
I am doing horrible tonight. Well, to be fair, I'm distracted, so.
I'm not distracting you.
No, you're not. My dog is.
Mm.
We might have some bad news about the family dog. I'll let you know in a few days. I don't know. We'll see. But I think it's just a level of preparedness that you need to have.
Yeah.
And that your host needs to have. Which, again, the upswing is if you're going somewhere with kids, then you're pretty golden on that.
Yeah.
If you're going somewhere that doesn't have kids or that doesn't have kids around very often, or maybe just has completely differently behaved kids around more often than yours. Like our nieces are at your mom's house so much more frequently than our kids are, and they behave completely differently. You could give the girls a book and tell them go sit down and read for 2 hours, and they will.
Yeah.
Our boys will go sit down and read for 2 seconds and then shred the book.
Yeah.
So
they were so excited they could not contain themselves, and oh my god, I just have to eat this book.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's not even like a level of, that's just they are highly excitable. That's just really, our boys are so high energy that, you know, they're Energizer bunnies.
Yeah. And, you know, when we host things here, I don't expect them to be on their best behavior because they're home.
They're at home. But we do, they know that they are supposed to behave respectably when we have guests in the house.
No, they know how to behave when we have company over. And if they get too rowdy and if the kids get too loud, everybody to the boys' room and go trash the boys' room. I'll make the boys clean it later. It's fine. And
we also generally only ever have family over. So if we just say, hey, everybody, go to the room. Everybody in it's like, hey, shut up and go play in the other room.
Yeah.
Everyone's pretty much cool with it, and probably every parent is probably on the same page.
Yeah. So, I mean, that always works out. But I think it definitely just comes down to preparedness. On the flip side of that, dealing not just with kids, if you are anything like me and have a sensory issue, you need to prepare yourself mentally for this as well.
Yeah.
I have, I don't even know what it is other than a sensory issue where if...
Yeah, it's I guess you could say it's an anxiety.
It's probably caused by anxiety, but it's... I don't know. It's just if things get too loud or if it gets too crowded, I can't be in that room. Yeah. It will trigger a full-on panic attack, and I have to leave. Yeah.
You have probably definitely a clinical anxiety issue. It hasn't been formally diagnosed.
Formally diagnosed, but I definitely have anxiety.
You've been Google diagnosed with anxiety problem. The exact name escapes us because it's one of those super technical names that doesn't have a common name because it's so rare.
Yeah.
But
I definitely have a sensory issue to where loud noises, large crowds, I just can't do it. It literally sends me into a panic attack. So there are times when I just have to kind of get up and leave.
Yeah.
And just let me go decompress. Let me take a few minutes to breathe and not hear anything, and then I'll come back and I'll be okay. Which is so much easier to do when you're in your own house. Because it's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, the one that's in my room, and I'm going to lock the doors. Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to go into a comfortable space for me that I'm comfortable in, and I'm going to stay here and calm down.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a lot harder to do when you're in somebody else's house.
Exactly. Or when, you are half of the team that's wrangling several children.
Yeah.
So, it's, I don't think holidays away from home ever really go well for me. And I'm always super stressed out, and I never seem to have a very good time.
Yeah, and we always joke, stress is your security blanket. But that's just, you operate well under high stress, but that also means that it doesn't take much to push you over that anxiety limit.
Right.
And I will admit, I have a very loud, very excitable family. And so whenever we have family get-togethers, it does not take a lot we get very loud. We get very rowdy. We're all talking over each other. We're having 10 different conversations all at the same time across multiple rooms and yelling and laughing and all that. And which we're all fine with because that's what we're used to. But for somebody with anxiety and crowd problems, yeah, that leaves you curled up in a ball almost.
Pretty much.
You were like psychologically curled up in a ball in the corner, especially when we're not home for those things and you have no safe place to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it does, I think some of your family think that I'm antisocial or that I don't like them or that
and we are antisocial, but that's...
Yeah. Or that I'm just like having a bad time or whatever. And that's not the case. Like I like being there. I like seeing everybody. But can we just be quiet for a little bit? Like just shush and turn down the TV? It's
like we're just those kids you see that have headphones on because they've got like anxiety issues and they just kind of zone into their whatever.
Yeah.
You almost need that. You need a Game Boy to just sit there. I'm going to sit here on my Game Boy.
Did you know that down. Toys R Us is introducing, I think they're calling it like the Blue Hour or something, where they're going like completely silent. They're turning all of the store music off. And I think reducing the amount of people that are allowed to come in for children with autism to come in during the holiday season and get to see the toys.
I did not hear that.
I need grocery stores to do this on Sundays and only let me in because I hate grocery shopping.
Yeah.
It stresses me the fuck out.
I know. You do not. Yeah, you're the only woman I've ever met who can go into a grocery store and not walk down every single aisle. I
can't do it.
I learned to grocery shop from both my mom and my stepmom, who are traditional shoppers in every aisle, and you just see what you need.
No, I am so like I don't know the word. I'm so anxious about everything and about grocery shopping that I literally write our list in the order that things are when we walk in the store, so that we can just walk in, walk out, get what we need as we're walking, and then fucking leave.
Yeah.
I'm the horse that needs blinders so that I don't freak the fuck out.
Yeah. You need like one of those VR headsets, so I only see this.
Yeah. Can we just block out everything else? But yeah. It's a lot when you think about it. Holidays are not easy.
No.
On parents. They just aren't.
And I will, like, as much as like I love holidays with my family, I love getting to see my mom or my dad or whoever, wherever we're visiting for whatever holiday. Even just like my sister's coming over or whatever. I love, like, I've got a big family. I love spending time with my family. But when you've got kids and you have kids that do need to be paid attention to, mm-hmm. You basically you're only half in, basically, like really. It's like you can't be totally there in the social aspect because you've still got to have.
Because Bug, don't knock that over. Damien, stop touching that.
Yeah. Or even just like you're sitting down to have big Thanksgiving meal. Well, you're sitting down with your kids, keeping your kids on track. And like, no, eat your dinner.
Sit down and eat your food.
Sit down. It's like, stop standing on the chair. No, sit down,
Yeah.
Yes, you have to eat all of it. And you're doing all of this and you can't really fully enjoy. No, you
can't have juice. You can just have water.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're not having a soda. No, you can't have this. No, we're not having pie yet.
Yeah. So
I don't care if mom wants pie.
You can't fully be there in the moment and enjoying the social aspect because you've got to deal with your kids, which again is different if you're hosting it at your house because your kids are in their environment. It's like having it's
when you are hosting the event, it changes your entire the home field advantage, especially for a holiday, is so important.
I think it's so important, especially if you've got kids.
When you're the one with the most kids, you should kind of get bonus points with like, can we please host? Because this is a lot easier if we do this shit at our house.
Yeah.
It's like, I realize we live in a hovel, but you know what? Our hovel is more comfortable of an environment for us to be entertaining than having to pack up our entire farm and take it to your mansion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's true. And I think the kids do a lot better when they are in their own environment because they know the rules of the house. Mm-hmm. You know, they know where they sit, what order to get in. When I say, all right, everybody sit, they know where they go. Yeah. They file right in, and then, okay, take care of your plates. They put everything where it goes, and then they go to their room. Yeah. You know, they have that system ingrained.
The routine really helps.
The routine really helps. And I definitely think that maybe that's why we had the most kids. So that we didn't have to travel.
I don't think it was a forethought, dear. Well, we did not intend. We did not plan out, oh yeah, we're going to have the most kids because it'll make entertaining wonderful. No. Nobody ever thought of that.
No, you know what somebody...
Unless those people from, the Duggars or what is it? Oh, yeah. They might have thought of that.
No, the only thing that I thought of when we had the conversation about children was, I want a cat.
Yeah, that was your side of the conversation.
That was my side. I'm from a family of 7. I want lots of kids. I want a cat. 4 kids later.
4 kids later, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 5 fish, and a damn turtle.
Tortoise.
Yeah.
She's adorable.
Reptile with a shell. Doesn't matter.
She's adorable.
Says you.
She's adorable.
I'm sorry, I'm not a reptile person.
When you scratch her neck, she was like, Okay, anyway.
I wish you could just see her making turtle face right now. It's adorable as much as it's weird.
You're weird.
That's why we do this.
But I guess that kind of ends this episode of the holidays. If you take anything away from this, take away be prepared.
Be prepared. Very prepared. And I think for any holiday, even though right now we're still, weeks out from Thanksgiving.
2 weeks.
But by the time this goes up, we'll be about a week out.
Yeah.
But it's still realistically, once you get into the holiday season, whether you're, it's Thanksgiving or I don't even know, I don't keep track of Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whenever any of the rest of the holidays fall. I'm just going because I know those drift. Christmas Day, Thanksgiving is pretty much a day. I know Hanukkah and Kwanzaa drift throughout the season. I don't know when the hell they take a while. They take a while. They're not the same days. I don't know when they are, but whatever holiday it is that you are, having to prepare for with your family, the key is to prepare. Yeah. It's never too early to plan ahead and it's like, okay, fine. Make sure we have this ready.
It's fine to plan the meals ahead of time and to have an idea of where the event will be hosted. That's perfectly fine. But don't make your kids and your travel necessities, your mentality going into this, don't make that an afterthought.
No.
Don't make the mistake of making that an afterthought.
As soon as
because let me tell you, if plans change last minute and suddenly you're hosting Thanksgiving or whatever at your house, there is a store open that will let you buy a turkey. It's okay.
Been there. We've done that. We've done that. we hosted an entire holiday. We went from impromptu, had no clue. Like everything shifted in the last minute and we were literally on the day, in the morning, there was one grocery store open. We were there that morning, threw down like $150 to get a turkey and all the sides and everything, and then had to cook everything to host a meal day of. Yep. Because everything changed the night before.
Right. Which, if that's how that has to go, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can't last minute a trip with kids.
No. If suddenly we went from we're hosting to my sister's hosting and, she lives 2 hours away. Sorry, we can't change that plan. We can't. We were not physically, mentally prepared to make that shift.
Logistically, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So that's not possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So logistically, you have to pre-plan any holiday with kids. You just have to. It's not possible to do without having it planned out and prepared, which realistically you probably should, in our case, we've got our system pretty down, but we know we need at least a week to be prepared, just so and you have to be mentally prepared to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you cannot do that last minute.
Mm-mm.
You have to be prepared. Just the same as you have to be prepared for any responsibilities you have at Thanksgiving, which I'm just going to keep using Thanksgiving because it's next. But say, oh yeah, we're doing this at my sister's house. Well, I'm bringing pie, or I'm bringing this, or I'm bringing that. You have to be prepared to, what do I need to buy? What do I need to make? What time do I have to set aside for this thing?
Right.
What time do you have to set aside to load up your car, to pick up the diaper, to pack up the stroller, or the whatever things you might need? You have to have all of those details worked into as well. You can't just be thinking about, oh yeah, I just need to make potato salad the night before. It's like, no, you probably need to have the diaper bag packed and all of everything sitting, waiting by the door for you first thing in the morning, so that when you get up, you're all ready to load up the car and get out of town.
Mm-hmm. It's true. There are a lot of differences. And I think there's also a lot of differences from when you go from having one kid to having multiple, because that definitely puts a lot of added pressure on it.
Yeah.
But
it's a lot. It's really different. Our first Thanksgiving with one kid, now several Thanksgivings later with 4 kids, it's a whole different animal.
Yep.
But
same animal. It's usually turkey. Sometimes ham, but usually turkey.
We have a big family. We have to have both.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, if you take anything away from today's episode, this week's episode,
episode 17,
it is to make sure you have your priorities in line and to be prepared for whatever you are hosting or attending.
Yeah.
That is our advice for this week.
That's the biggest lesson you could ever learn about holidays with your kids.
Yep. Yeah. On next week's episode, I'm going to go into a bit more detail about how we prepare. I know we kind of talked about it.
Yeah, we did a lot here, but this is kind of more of a holiday specific. This is general planningness.
Right. So the next episode, we're going to go into a lot more detail about how we prepare, what the logistics look like. We'll maybe play a game of what's in your diaper bag, and you'll get a little bit more insight how we actually cope with the travel, if we travel, or having to host. So be sure to tune in for that one, because that one's going to give you a lot of really good advice, I hope. On how specifically to deal with either way.
Yeah.
If you have any questions before then, definitely feel free to shoot us an email at momanddadcuss@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, which is
at momanddadcuss.
Okay. And I don't know any of the other stuff, so go ahead.
Well, if you are looking for us on Twitter, you can always find me at OddDadOut.
I was going to say, we have a Twitter since
we don't have a Twitter. I have a Twitter. You have a Twitter account somewhere, but you don't know how to log into it, so it's lost to the void. I think you have a couple of them that are lost to the void.
No, just one.
But yeah, if you are looking for anything on Twitter for us here, you can always contact me at OddDadOut on Twitter. And of course, the show notes and the fun web stuff is all at momanddadcuss.blogspot.com. And that's where you can find all the links to subscribe. And there's even I'm trying to remember because internet. I believe there is a place there to leave us a message, or you could just leave comments on any of the episode posts and things like that, and we'll get them that way too.
And be sure to subscribe, rate, review.
All those fun things.
So until next time, everybody, hope this was helpful. Good night.
Good night.